All right, in this video, what I'm going to teach you guys how to do is use the discriminant, which is this expression underneath the square root, okay, or the radical in the quadratic formula. So I'm just going to erase everything from the quadratic formula except for what would be underneath the radical. B squared minus 4ac. That is the discriminant. And why do we use the discriminant? We use it to find how many solutions a quadratic will have. So roots, solutions, x-intercepts, all the same exact thing. So when talking about quadratics, one teacher might call them roots, another teacher might call them your x-intercepts, while another teacher might call them solutions. We just need to be aware that that means where we're crossing the x-axis on a graph. So we're going to use this given three different quadratics, and we're going to find out what it all simplifies down to. Now, if I end up getting a positive result, what that means is on a graph, my parabola would hit 1, 2 times, meaning I would have 2 solutions. If after plugging everything into the discriminant, I get a positive result. Okay? If I don't get a positive and I end up getting a 0, what that's telling me is on my graph, my vertex is the only part that hits the x-axis. So that means I'm going to have 1 solution. So 2 solutions, 2 roots, 2 x-intercepts, 1 solution, 1 root, 1 x-intercept. But what if it's not positive? What if it's not negative? I do all this and I get not 0, but it's a negative. What that means is you're going to have a parabola that's never even going to hit this x-intercept at all, meaning it has no solutions, no roots, no x-intercepts. So now that we know we're looking for, does this come out to a positive, 2 solutions, 0, 1 solution, or a negative, no solutions, let's get started. I've got 3 quadratics ready for you guys to go, so let's do one at a time. First one, y equals 6x squared. Y equals 6x squared plus x plus 12. This is your A, this is your B, this is your C. Our B has no number in front of the x. You should know that that's a 1 when you don't see the actual number. So my A is 6, my B is 1, my C is 12. And I'm going to plug that into this right here. So something squared minus 4 times 2 other values. My B is a 1, my A is a 6, and my C is a 12. And I'm going to work all this out. Okay, now what you're going to end up getting here is 1 squared, which is 1, negative 4 times 6, which is going to give you negative 24. Then we're going to have to multiply that negative 24 times a 12 to get a new value down here. When you multiply negative 24 times 12, you're going to get negative 288. Bring the 1 down. 1 minus 288 is a negative value. I really don't even care what the value is. I know it's a negative 287 actually, to be exact. And because it's a negative, think back to what I told you at the very beginning of the video. If the result is negative, it's never going to hit the x-axis. It'll either look like that or like that. Something that's below and dropping, opening up or opening down, or up above the x-axis, opening up. Okay, so in this case, y equals 6x squared plus 1x plus 12. We have no roots, we have no solutions, we have no x-intercepts. New problem. I give you an equation. Y equals 3x squared plus 6x. What is that? 3 I wrote down plus 3. Okay. This is my A. This is my B. And there's my C. Start filling them in. B is 6, so 6 squared. A goes here, negative 4 times 3. C is also a 3. 6 squared makes 36. Negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. I'll have to multiply that by another 3. Negative 12 times 3, negative 36. Bring down this 36. 36 minus 36 equals 0. So think back to the very beginning of the video. When we get 0 as a result, we know that we're only going to be hitting 1 time. So it might look like this, It could look like this. But what we know is we only have 1 point that would be hitting the x-axis. So let's just assume it's going to look something like that. And it has one solution, one x-intercept, one root. I don't know why we have so many different names for them, but just get used to roots, solutions, and x-intercepts are all the same thing. Let's go to our last and final problem, the one that you're going to see probably more often than anything else, and that's the one that comes out to 2 solutions. Okay, let's take a peek. We got y equals 5x squared minus 5x minus 6. That's my A, that's my B, that's my C. Fill them all out. Negative 5 squared minus 4 times those two values, 5 and negative 6. Take it off. Negative 5 squared, that's going to give me 25. Negative 4 times positive 5, that's negative 20. I need to multiply that by a negative 6. A negative times another negative makes a positive, and 20 times 6 is a grand total of positive 120. Bring down the 25. Here, my final result is 145, which is a positive value. Positive values tell me that my graph of my quadratic is going to have to hit 1 2 times. So I would have 2 solutions, 2 roots, or 2 x-intercepts. Okay, I hope this helps. And just in case Jeff's watching, big fan of Survivor, I send my video in all the time. One of these seasons, you're going to have to pick me up, bud. All right, love you all. Study hard, and good luck on your upcoming test.